the Justice League, which is fun to say now. I mean, all of us, we didn't see it together, though. That would have been a lot of fun.
That would have been awesome, yeah.
Yeah, but we ended up going separately.
Some of us almost accidentally saw it together.
Almost.
That's
by
true.
a few hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vanessa and I saw it together, and it was a lot of fun. But that's the thing, the Justice League. This is our spoiler-filled review of what we thought of Justice League. Now, let's just kick it off right off the bat. Justice League. It came after a little bit of controversy with Batman vs. Superman critically. Now, if you go back and end up watching the review that Vanessa and I did back in the day, Batman vs. Superman actually got high marks from me for BVS. So I really enjoyed it theatrically, right out of the gate.
Me, not so much.
I quite enjoyed it.
Big fan. I'm a big fan.
And then we've got Aaliyah from Nerd Build and All the Belts podcast. You can definitely check out what they had to say because they spoke all about it on their podcast.
For BVS, we had a 3-hour-long podcast, so I'm sure you'll really want to listen to all of that. And then we will probably be doing one for Justice League as well. So.
And then we've got Dom Antonio, one of the local YouTubers here in Tucson. What was your take on BVS? That good, huh?
The editing was absurd.
Okay. So you were there with the
Yeah.
critics in the sense that you were left underwhelmed.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Unfortunately.
So did they learn their lesson in our opinion, or did they kind of stick to what they did before? So, the Justice League. We've got the team coming together. Unite the League.
Just like right now.
Aaliyah, absolutely, yeah. All coming together. Aaliyah was actually present with Dan from Nerd Build and All the Belts, and they were here for our reaction to the second trailer for the Justice League.
I think that was the first time we were ever on anything for your channel.
Oh, that's funny.
Brings back memories.
It's great that it was some DC related. We even all ended up on DC's official website as well for that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was exciting. But all in all, Aaliyah, first impressions, DC's Justice League.
I liked it. That's probably not a surprise. I like a lot of things. I will say my overall take is that all the scenes where people were standing around talking, I loved, and everything else I also mostly enjoyed.
Okay. So specifically, the scenes, this is spoiler filled, the scenes where we have Barry Allen, and we've got Aquaman, and we've got the Wonder Woman and Batman, and then the scene when they're in the Batcave, essentially.
I do, I did enjoy Barry Allen's banter with everybody. I thought that his was just so funny.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the Flash in this. I know he's kind of a polarizing character. I've heard a lot of people didn't like his take on it, but I thought it was really funny.
See, I like his... Okay, so to kind of go back, like, I like Grant Gustin's version of The Flash on the CW show, but he does annoy me with what the stuff that he does on the show, because he whines a lot. So, so this Flash in the movie I enjoyed very much because he's like funny and like outgoing and like ready to do that, and that's what I liked about it. I was like, okay, this is a nice turn of the Flash in this movie.
So dialogue between the characters, Dom.
So I've actually always thought the Flash was super lame, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Ooh,
But
hot takes.
Hold on. But the Flash in the Justice League, though, I actually thought he was the best part of the whole movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it
you
actually
loved
made me
Barry.
like him. Yeah, Barry did great. I loved how it like showed him in like real time while he was like running really fast. That was pretty awesome. Yeah.
There were some good parts with him running
Like,
really
push the
fast.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
like
sick.
like one of my favorite parts is like when Superman comes and he's holding Aquaman and Wonder
That
Woman,
part was so
and
good.
then Flash is like running, and then you see Superman like look at him, and the face that Barry Allen has was hilarious because he's like, what the hell? Like,
Ezra is so funny. Like half, or maybe even, he said really funny things, but also his facial expressions were just hilarious all the time.
And that's one of the biggest takeaways for me in this movie that I absolutely loved was Barry Allen when he met up with Superman. It was that first scene when he was holding them all, and then him and Barry Allen kind of had that moment when it became the battle between Superman and Flash. Not to mention the post-credit scene when they're actually having the race between Superman and the Flash.
Yeah.
We kind of got it a little bit, like, at the end where he's like, you go this way, I'll go this way, we'll save people.
Right. And then you saw him carrying the big apartment complex. And then Barry Allen ended up saving the truck.
Yeah.
Which, to me, was a little taste of Superman as well when he pushed the truck in the OG Superman. So that's the thing, is Flash and Superman was one of the takeaways that we really enjoyed. Just Barry Allen altogether. Now, granted, though, my only issue with the things that Barry Allen said, and this is kind of springboarding off of all of them, is that a lot of the promos that came out leading into this movie showed us a lot of the moments when Wonder Woman showed up originally in the movie, when Aquaman showed up in the original trailer we did, Aquaman with Bruce Wayne. Then we had Cyborg showing up late in the game on the rooftop with Commissioner Gordon and Wonder Woman and Flash and Batman. Like, a lot of those were shown in promo material, which is also one of the reasons why I don't like to watch those, but you know what? It shows up on the screen and you're captivated, and I end up watching them. So a lot of those moments with Barry Allen as well, even tripping, when Barry Allen tripped over the step, which had I not known that happened, I would have thought it was awesome, but I already saw it in the most recent trailer that they did.
So you couldn't enjoy it in the movie because you had already seen it happen. Do you ever watch movies twice?
A lot of the time, and this one I don't feel like I want to watch twice, because that's the thing, is there are ish moments in movies when you want to see something that just blows your mind, and that is something that I felt with Batman vs Superman.
See, for me, I totally forgot that he tripped. So when he tripped, I was like, oh yeah, he tripped. But then we finally realized why he tripped, and it was like, oh, okay, because he was just looking, he wasn't paying attention.
And that's the thing, is Aquaman showing up to save them from Steppenwolf. Saw that in the promo material, so I'm waiting for Steppenwolf to unleash the dam, and well, here comes Aquaman, and it took the fun out of it because I saw it. So we were praising WB for not giving us any Superman material, which 100%. That is why Superman is the best part for me of this movie, was because I saw nothing.
Yeah. They did do a good job of even though everyone knew he was going to be in it, they did a really good job of keeping it locked down in terms of what they showed or let on.
And that's the thing but I felt like every other person, every quip Barry Allen had, oh, can I keep this? All of it was fun. And there were the only things that I really enjoyed were the ones that weren't in trailers. When he talks about being the snack fiend, it's like, oh, I know that. Like, I know that. I mean, he's got to make up those calories that he's constantly burning. So for me, that was fun.
I think there were a lot of funny parts that weren't in the trailer necessarily that were in this. I'm not all Barry Allen, but
of course,
I think there was enough. That doesn't really bother me, but even if that is the kind of thing that bothered you, I think there's enough stuff that I just wanted to say that there were some really funny parts with Batman that I don't know if other people, I don't know if they just were, Ben is just really subtle the way he delivers it, but there were probably at least 3 Batman lines / parts where I was laughing in the theater and nobody else was laughing. And I was like, are people did they not hear? Did they not see what just happened? Like, this is hilarious, and he is delivering it so well, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
if I'm remembering correctly, I think they actually switched some dialogue that they showed in the trailer at one point.
Correct.
He did. Was it the part with
Superman in the field was one of them.
I thought the other one was when he was driving that. I don't even know what they call that.
The Batmobile or the Nightcrawler.
That crawler thing in the tunnel. He looks up at what's his face?
Cyborg.
Yeah. Or no.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, Steppenwolf. And I thought in the trailer he's supposed to go, oh shit, but in the movie he goes, Jesus.
Well, he does say oh shit or oh crap when the parademons are ripping apart his Batmobile, and that's when Diana shows up and knocks them off the Batmobile.
Okay. That's when he did it.
Yeah. So that was
what it was.
But yeah, you're right. I thought they.
Okay.
There is a scene though. There's one scene where you see Superman in the field. and Lois Lane, and he's like, so I take that as a yes because she has the ring on. That never happens in the movie.
Yeah, the whole dialogue is switched up on that scene, which thank you for the rope-a-dopes. That's what I want. If you're going to show me a trailer with dialogue or moments in the movie, change it out. But that's the thing is like all the awesome points with Aquaman, where it's like dress like a bat, I dig it. That was in the trailer. Riding the parademon through the building. That was in the trailer.
But you got the lasso moment.
Man.
That wasn't in the trailer. That was amazing.
That was a good moment with Aquaman, and she's lassoing, and she's like, oh, it's so good.
And he's sharing.
Because at first he's like,
right,
wait,
yeah, because you don't really know, and then you're like, wait, what is he saying?
Yeah.
And then you realize it's because the lasso, and you're like, oh, I see what you did
yeah,
there.
because you're like, wait, so you don't want to die? Like, it was great.
And that's the thing too, is like you said right off the bat, the dialogue heavy moments where it's the team. And that's the thing about this team. This team, for me, got very close to having a conflict, like you see in majority of the ensemble cast, where like we're all angry, we're gonna walk away and depart. But then we come back together.
Come back until the end
they
of the
didn't
movie.
do that. They pushed forward through it, and he's like, "We were gonna leave, but she didn't give us a vote." Like they just moved forward, and that's what I loved about the team is that they literally came together. There was no dividing them, even though this is what Vanessa and I talked about in our non-spoiler review. Fear, humanistic mentalities for superheroes. They were afraid. Aquaman didn't want to do it. He's like, yeah, well, that's Superman died at your side. Exactly, that's the point. I don't want to do that. And then Barry Allen, it's like, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. So we had a lot of fear and very human tendencies within these heroes that kept them from wanting to come together.
But they pushed
but
through.
it was for different reasons. It wasn't like we're infighting. It was we're terrified of death. We're terrified of not making it out alive.
Batman even got questioned for his powers. He was like, "Do you even have any superpowers?"
Multiple times.
Like even
He's like, no. Nope.
Right.
Like even
Just a lot of
Superman.
money.
Yeah, like when they're trying to separate the mother boxes, even Superman's like, do you want me to do this? Because I don't want to die again.
Yes. Every single one of them was afraid of something, and they all came together to push forward. Now, for me, one of the biggest things, the Mother Box Steppenwolf origin, it took us about 40 minutes. I had to look at my phone because I'm like, wait, okay, so it took us this long to get here. Was when they say Steppenwolf came with his army and they all the tribes came together to battle him. It took about 40 minutes before we got any explanation about the Mother Boxes. I'm so glad we got it. It was amazing. That's when I perked up and I was in it.
Yeah,
I was so happy
exciting
about
when you
it.
see like the Amazonians and then the Lanteans, and then you get a little Green Lantern in there as well. And that was awesome. You're like,
Green Lantern.
yes, just a little bit. Like Green Lantern's not. He's in the movie, but he's not in the movie. You know, like you get a little taste of like,
a lantern,
they do exist.
essentially,
Yeah.
And there's that part at the end where they're in the mansion and they're talking about setting up the table, and Wonder Woman is like, he says like, and 6 chairs, and Wonder Woman's like, and room for more, or something. And you're like, because there's more people in the Justice League. They could be in it.
That world opening up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that opening battle. I think even David Thewlis, who played Ares, is in there because he's credited in the actual...
Oh, was he? I didn't
Yeah,
see
he was
that.
credited in the thing, but I'm pretty sure it's probably like during that time when they're all fighting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he must have been a part of it. So that's the thing is, for me, it came a little late.
Yeah, because like speaking with you saying like you had to wait until 40 minutes, there's a lot of I feel personally that there was a lot of times that some scenes I feel were out of place and they should have been set differently in the timeline of the movie. Like the whole scene with the Amazonians when the mother boxes awaken and they're there like waiting for like what's gonna happen. I feel like that should have started the movie. Like you start Steppenwolf coming and all that stuff, and then she's like, oh, we have to tell the world. They have to shoot the flame to tell Diana that this is happening, and I feel like that should have started the movie, so that way you know, like, oh, he's coming, and then kind of go into the other ones, like the parademons and whatnot.
Right.
So would you have wanted to cut out that first Superman scene then? Because I don't think that would fit anywhere else unless it's like the cold open for the movie.
With the vlogging.
Yeah.
With the vlogging.
Yeah, well...
Loved it.
I
loved it as a YouTuber with Superman vlogging in the beginning.
I feel like that could have started the movie
And then have
and
the
then go to the Amazonians with the whole like mother boxes and stuff. Because then it goes from that and then it goes to Batman.
Each
in
one of
Gotham,
them, yeah.
Like you're like, wait, what is Batman doing? Like, is he like, we just seeing him hunt something and then all of a sudden he like sees these guys? But like, I mean, he's already hunting them already. So, and maybe like switch those scenes around. But that's just me, personally. I thought that they could have
Rearranged things.
rearranged.
Well, I'm
some
sure
I think
things
that would've
were
worked too.
Many times rearranged a lot.
That's
the
very
whole
true.
situation with
Yeah.
Snyder and Whedon, and this definitely is not the movie that it probably was
Would
set
have
out to
been,
be at
yeah.
the beginning. So I'm sure there was definitely some rearranging.
Which, no fault to Snyder. I mean, I know that he had to go and
Yeah.
be with his
It
family,
was nobody's fault.
which is what you need to do. And good for Joss to be like, yeah, I'll step in to do this. I mean, it's tough to come in halfway through and do that. Look at freaking what's happening with Star Wars and Ryan Howard and all that stuff. But yeah. Anyways, keep on going.
It happens, and that's you know what, to be able to make something that comes out and it's fun. It's definitely a lot of fun. Because don't get me wrong, I had fun with it. It's just unfortunately I would have preferred fun right off the bat versus, you know, I enjoyed the vlog scene with the little kids and Superman. In fact, it was like 5 rows behind us, a little kid, as soon as when
This is awesome.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. As soon as
Oh,
like
wow.
the little kids are like talking to Superman, a little kid 5 rows behind us, he's like, "This is awesome," and it's like, yes, okay, that's great. Like this kid's really loving it.
That's
and
cool. They
enjoying
like
it.
touched it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing though is that whole the essentially the invasion of Steppenwolf. Yeah, I mean it came and it happened, and we saw him go after Amazonians on Themyscira, and you know with the parademon with Batman. But you're right. Like I wanted a little bit of backstory on what was going on with the boom tube and the mother boxes. Just starting off right off the bat, I think that would have been like, oh crap! Like we are in some ish right now. We most recently had Wonder Woman and the Amazonians and Themyscira, so to show them in turmoil, to show them losing their soldiers, and for like that was heartbreaking to see every single one. It's like close the gate, and they're knocking the gate, and every single person in that room is dead. Every single one of the guards is going down, and how they're holding the door so that way she can get through, and they don't come out with her, so every single one died. To start the movie that way, I think would have just blown my
Everyone would have
mind.
been like, oh god, hold
Right.
on to your seat.
Yeah, this is something that is something, you know, it's dastardly. It is all on the line right here, and then you focus in on each individual hero in their elements, which again showed through all the promos.
That's what I was kind of saying about Superman vs. Batman. With these movies, I just sometimes the editing I feel like just doesn't get thought out too much.
It's
you know?
it's improper placement for
Yeah.
certain points.
Yeah.
For me, it worked in the first one. For me, in Batman vs Superman, but obviously it didn't work for me for the first half.
Like Justice League was the edit. I think it was fine. I'm just saying like if maybe it was thought out a little more.
Right.
Some emotions could have been pulled out of the audience a little better.
And that goes to what you were saying about, like, would you not enjoy it if you saw it again? I wanted that initial emotion of surprise and moments of joy seeing them together, because don't get me wrong, my biggest moments of joy were Flash and Superman throughout this movie, and I can't wait to see them come together, which also leads to moments of joy, something that pulls them out in these movies: score, music. So the soundtrack of this one, very different without Hans Zimmer.
Yes.
And adding in Danny
But I
Elfman.
think that this is very in Danny Elfman's element, because he's done so many of Tim Burton's movies, and Tim Burton is very like dark and gritty with his movies, and so with this movie it was dark and gritty too, so I feel like it fit. Plus you have the nostalgia feeling of Danny Elfman using a little bit of the old Batman theme from Batman, and so you're like, oh, it's that Batman theme, yay! So you have that, and I enjoyed the music in this. I thought that the music worked.
Aaliyah?
I am not a big music person. I mean, I like music, and but it's not one of the things that I notice as much when I watch movies. It just, if it's good, then it blends in with the movie, and I don't necessarily think about it as much.
Sure.
But definitely those little, like, sort of nostalgia hits, you know, are, the audience is always going to love that. And this movie overall definitely is not as dark and gritty as, like, BVS, or, you know, even Man of Steel. Like, you could definitely see the Whedon in this equal the Snyder, and so maybe isn't even as gritty as Danny Elfman could have gone, but I liked it.
Dom?
I definitely think it fit. I feel like Zimmer kind of makes things more dramatic than they need to be.
Very true.
Yeah, so I feel like I feel like this movie was very flashy, and like kind of
No pun intended.
yeah, exactly, and like visually catching and like poppy and stuff. So I feel like with him not doing the music actually worked. Yeah.
That's a very good point, because there were multiple times throughout this movie I'm like, that's totally Elfman.
Yeah.
Because it is very whimsical. It is more comic booky, and
Yeah.
the man
Exactly.
created the theme for Batman.
Which I guess also goes with Whedon. I mean, Whedon is a little more whimsical too, so
True.
I think that works for
Yeah.
sure.
It definitely worked in this one, but the lack of Zimmer, Vanessa, how did that affect the movie, at least tonal?
For you, I mean, I was okay with Danny Elfman, but I know that you were saying about how, like, with Man of Steel, all you wanted to hear was the Christopher Reeves, John Williams version of Superman's theme and all the music in Superman. And then when it came to this one, you were hoping that there was a little bit more, which I would hope too. There was, like, the Superman theme, like when they're in the field, when she's talking to him, there could have been like that. Like the little soft, but the only thing that we really got was when they go into the ship to bring Superman back. Then they had the Krypton music, which it's cool that they used it there because that makes sense to use it there. But I feel like maybe they could use it a little bit more.
And that's the thing too, is like you have John Williams getting added into this, so you know that Elfman was open to adding more score from other composers, because he ended up having the Kryptonian theme when it came to the ship. He ended up having John Williams' theme when you finally saw Superman, and it was the and that's the thing though, is like Vanessa said, I very much miss those musical cues when it came to Man of Steel. But that Hans Zimmer theme, the beep, 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 like that that won me over. Especially we saw Hans Zimmer live, and man, when he played that in combination with Wonder Woman,
You were just crying.
Yeah.
the feels,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
So good.
So being able, had they done when Superman first shows up for that battle against Steppenwolf, when they're all at the reactor, if I got and then it just jumped into
Like it does.
So you just want to throw them all in there.
Yeah. Just
unite the league, come together. You got Elfman, you got Williams. Where was Zimmer? Like, you unite the league of all these composers that have done an amazing job with the score. Bring them together in this movie. I would have lost it. Those are those emotions
I also would
have
have
felt.
loved, like, Danny Elfman's take on a lot of their theme songs, like Wonder Woman's. Like, I love Wonder Woman's theme, so we got.
I really love that theme too.
Yeah, we got like a little bit of it
Yeah.
at the beginning when you first see her, and then it kind of goes away. And I was kind of hoping that Danny Elfman would kind of put his own take on it a little bit more, but
It was only there
just
for a
like
fraction.
that bit.
So either way, the post-credit scenes. Go on. I know you got to say something, Dom. What you got? What you got?
Tell
I
us.
loved it. I remember my friend and I, we were watching it, and I called it. It was Slade right off the bat. Knew it. Knew it. And I thought it just got me ready for the next movie.
With a touch of gray as well.
Yeah,
That was
I know.
Wait, so were you
Yeah.
the person in my theater that made the really high pitched squee noise?
I don't know, but right when I was like, I feel like I like ruined it for everyone because I was like, that's Slade.
You could tell by the
Yeah.
freaking swords and just the back of the head.
So
Yeah,
I'm pumped. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
There
so
was an
awesome.
audible squee in the theater that I was in. Just there was like silence. Everybody was like really excited. Then somebody was just like, "Ah!" I was like, "Yep."
He's
That person-
denying it. That was totally dumb.
But no, I know that look. I mean, he looks. Joe looks
Yeah.
pretty good in the gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's so great. I just love him.
Yeah.
Like as an actor.
Yes.
Pumped.
I really hope that that turns into something.
It better, because that's the thing.
I know,
is
'cause they
he's
were-
gray there. Let's go back. If they end up doing the 80s Batman that Matt Reeves wants to do, he's gray there for a reason. Let's go back a little bit more when he was younger, when he's Joe Manganiello in his prime. So let's see what kind of a battle
When
he
he's
can
what's
work
his
out.
name from True Blood.
Also,
Oh.
I know that I'm in the minority here, but I really liked Jesse Eisenberg as
Nope.
Lex.
You're
There
not
you
in the
go.
minority, girl. I'm
No.
not
And I
with
was
you.
blessed
Interesting.
when he was in the post credit scene too. Like I was excited. Like I want to see a
100%.
villain team up with him
I
back
would-
in it. I would be on board for that.
All smiles with Jesse
I get-
Eisenberg,
when we were
okay?
talking about it too, and I totally get why you would like Jesse Eisenberg because of the way that he is just so menacing and annoying, but menacing.
Yeah. No, I understand. People
He's pretty-
just
he's
don't
pretty
like Jesse Eisenberg, and that's fine.
Yeah,
He would have been a better
He's
Riddler.
kind of Jesse Eisenberg in everything.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I really liked him as Lex.
because there is like there was one. Okay, we're talking about BVS too, I guess. There
Let's listen to our podcast. for 3
There
hours.
is this one
You can hear all my
scene
thoughts.
about BVS where he's like, Mother of God, look at the time. And he's talking to Superman and him about his mother, Martha, like, that he took her and everything. And that's why he's like, Mother of God, because, like,
And he's a
she's
god.
yeah. Like, Superman's a god.
It's
and
cleverly
his
worded.
mother, yeah.
It's delicately put in a sense that it's just the way that he has his dialogue set up. It's just he's leagues ahead of us, leagues ahead of them. At least in his mind, he's delusional and he's crazy. But go on.
No, finish.
I was just gonna say a league of her own. A league
yeah,
of her
I mean,
own.
he, like, is the whiny rich kid. You know what I mean? So,
That wants to kill
it
everybody.
works.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually thought I originally thought he was absolutely terrible. But
Okay.
but now
You're coming around?
not thinking about it, you expect it to be someone different, maybe someone older, maybe someone more deeper tone,
Right.
right? That's what you expect.
Yeah.
But it's not, and he's just like way more twisted. So I actually enjoy the fact that it's different and just like way more menacing and just like freaky.
There you go, Jesse Eisenberg. You
Yeah,
just went
I'm gonna-
over
yeah,
Dom.
I'm gonna give
He's
him
on
some
your
credit.
side.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Because
give
there's
him
a lot
some
of
We've
people.
been
Because
talking
that-
something
I
here
wasn't
today.
expecting that, you know?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So, fair enough. I'll give it to him.
I mean, and then the whole scene with Superman and Flash having their run out. I mean,
Yeah, that's great.
been in the comics, so that was kind of cool that they put it in there as well. And I hate to go back because I do want to talk about one thing that I just kind of annoyed me in the movie was the fact that they had CG backgrounds and you could totally tell. It reminded me of Once Upon a Time, and if you ever seen that show, it's a show, so granted there are scenes, it's very heavily CGI'd in the back and you could totally tell. And then these
Much
ones
lower
too,
budget, yeah.
they have a lower budget, but so with this one there were parts where I was like, that background's not really there, I could totally tell, and it kind of took me out a little bit, and it like went back and forth between it, so it's very possible that it was like, those were the reshoots, and then this was like when they actually had a set, and then those were the reshoots, and yeah.
So, I mean, that is just our take on Batman. Oh, I almost said Batman versus Superman. No, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash,
All of them.
Superman,
But all
of them
Aquaman
together.
versus Steppenwolf.
I think that it has the potential for more, and I want to see them succeed with more Justice League.
I want a
And
lantern!
More Justice League.
And
That's what
more,
we want.
yeah.
I hope they take.
More DC characters.
I hope they take
Exactly.
some. I hope they listen to some feedback.
Of course.
I really hope they do.
I think they did from
And
the
I don't
first one
care
to
about
this one.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, because no, this one definitely improved.
I mean,
Right.
nobody.
I hope they.
No, bring
just
on
keeps
Darkseid.
improving.
Come on.
I really
We
hope.
want Darkseid.
Just give
It's gonna
us
be awesome.
Darkseid. You know, it's funny. So, like, when the credits were rolling and, like, the Justice League sign came up, I was joking with Robert. I was like, the Justice League will appear, or will return in Avengers Infinity War.
So I think the final battle between all of them and Steppenwolf 2 was a nice, great way for all of them to get a piece of the the shots, essentially, from how the camera was switching back and forth to each one of them. They worked together so well. I'm so happy to see them all come together in a moment where they triumph, especially, you know, like we saw the vulnerabilities of each one of them.
I love the fact Aquaman had the trident and used it.
Yes!
Awesome.
And he was so brilliant. At the woo! Anytime he did
Talking
that,
to the guy that uses a
scream.
pitchfork.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like that whole last half of the movie, you know, after the 40-minute mark I was in it, everything, and it was only because I had seen a lot of the stuff in the first 40 minutes already, but everything after that, man, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Seeing the team come together was definitely something that I've been excited for. I want Ben to stay. I want Ben as Batman. I mean, I really enjoy Alfred.
Oh, I love Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I thought that he's such a good addition as far as Alfred. Like, yeah, he's Alfred.
He's definitely great.
Yeah, and then
go ahead.
Oh
Sorry.
no, I was gonna say, and J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. Granted, we got a little bit of him, but I want to see more of him as
Definitely
Commissioner
more.
Gordon.
Dom?
I love the comic-y, bulky Batman.
Yeah.
It's just really badass.
He used his grappling gun. Used it
Over and
everywhere.
over. Yeah,
It was
constantly-
awesome.
Yeah.
We never got that.
No, I don't. We barely got that in freaking Nolan's Batman.
Yeah, he used
The
like
grappling
a-
gun.
Yeah.
I love how he was just
Realistic
like
version.
old man Batman too. You know,
Yeah.
like he was barely
He was hurt.
keeping up with the rest of them.
yeah.
He was hurt. He was bruised.
Yeah.
Now when he was in that,
Winded.
when he was in that room though with the statues, like with the costumes, like all the different war outfits, the only thing I could think of was from '89 Batman, King of the Wicker People. Like I was like, look, this Batman has his little trophies. I got it in Japan, but yeah, he had them all on display too. So. I just want the freaking Wayne Manor to be rebuilt.
Yeah,
And
like-
It seems like it will.
I was
be.
so
Uh-huh.
excited, like
Yeah, I
when
was
they
really
walk
excited
at the
about
end.
that,
I was
too.
like, yes, they're gonna bring Wayne Manor
Yeah.
back. Like it just didn't feel like Batman without the Wayne Manor. So.
For sure. So either way, what did you guys think? Let us know. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you meh it? Did you just have fun? Which is what this movie tended to do, is have fun. We were listening to the soundtrack afterwards as well, constantly, because that was something that, even though I'm lacking, you know, maybe I'll make my own mix of mixing Zimmer in there
I was gonna
somewhere.
say, don't lie.
Remix
Just so I can
it.
I was gonna
enjoy
say,
it.
don't lie. We listened to Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel soundtrack after we watched
Right
the
after,
movie because
I
we were
missed
like,
it
we
so
wanted
much.
it.
I miss it so much. But what did you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. You can also like, you can subscribe.
And do the
That's
thing
our
on our
cue.
Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust. With that being said, like, what would you rate it out of 5?
Oh yeah, forgot
Oh,
all about the rating.
Rating things is like not my strong suit. I'm not prepared for this. I'll go last.
Okay.
All right, so 3.5 out of 5 for me. Granted, I really enjoyed parts of it, but there was a big chunk of it that the promotional marketing material just kind of sucked all the fun out of it for me, just because I had seen it already. So 3.5 out of 5, and if you go back and watch my BVS review, I love that one. So either
You
way,
gave it like a 4.5 out of 5 or 5 out of 5.
it was up
It
there.
was up there,
It
yeah.
was up there. It was like 4.5.
Yeah.
But either way, 3.5 out of 5 for me for Justice League.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a flat 3.
Okay.
Go to flat 3. Overall, I thought the movie was awesome. I thought there were parts that just didn't need to be CGI'd.
Okay.
Like Vanessa was saying.
Yeah.
The rooftop scene, for example. Pretty sure there was a car, at one point there was a police car when Batman was on the ground that was CGI'd, I think. I don't know why that has to be CGI'd.
There was
Just
when-
put a car there.
Right when Superman showed up and he landed on the memorial, he was all CG.
Yeah.
And I turned to her, I was like, why are they CGing Clark Kent? Like,
Yeah.
why is he being CG'd right now?
I wonder how much of that was like due to circumstances, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
We even
doesn't
talked
still
reshoot.
affect the movie, but
Correct.
yeah, like I think if they
It's
had
very
had
possible.
perfect way, there, you know, maybe not all of those things would have.
Yeah,
been
but
CGI.
Snyder loves the green screen, so that's the only thing.
But his
practical
movie looks so
with-
pretty.
Yeah, well, it is, but I also pick it out very quickly.
Exactly.
I'm okay with it. I understand it, but like you said, once upon a time, why is the whole background of to me, the field the field that Clark was in at one point when he's talking. I believe that's reshoots.
Right.
Where the field was not, it was CG.
Which unfortunately sometimes they do have to do that because they don't have the money to shoot them, to send them back to where they shot it
gotta make it
Or
work.
the time.
so they have to do it in another way. But
That's 2 3s over here, Vanessa.
I'm gonna do a 3.75 out of 5.
Okay.
Like I enjoyed this. Okay, so I'm gonna give you. It goes one. All the DCEU extended version. It goes Wonder Woman first. I love Wonder Woman.
She loves the list.
I do love lists. So Wonder Woman, and then Man of Steel, and then Justice League, and then Batman v Superman, and then Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, Suicide Squad's on that list. Yeah, that's always on the bottom for me, unfortunately. So Aaliyah.
I think I'm gonna have to go 4.
Okay.
I
That works.
had a good time.
You enjoyed it.
I enjoyed
That's
it.
what
That's what exactly. I was
That's
just gonna
what
say.
matters.
That's what matters.
That is all that matters, and I'm just so happy for you that you got to avoid all the promotional material. Unfortunately, I work in television, and I have to watch every damn
I didn't
trailer.
avoid all of it. Like I saw that one trailer with you guys.
That was the trailer, though. I'm talking TV spots. They ruin everything
Oh,
in
yeah.
damn TV
I don't think
spots.
Yeah, they do ruin. That's why I stopped watching all the Star Wars ones. So
Yeah.
No.
And all in all, I mean, it was a lot of fun for us to be able to enjoy this movie all together, whether it was just talking about it or actually watching it with each other. I'm so glad that Danny Elfman Batman theme is back. It transcends Batman. I mean, it is Batman on every way, shape, or form. So that is one of the best things about this movie, too, that they decided to be okay with bringing it back. Because I feel like we need a new theme across the board. But the theme was fun. And we all had it. So thank you guys for watching. Now we can do the outro. Thank you for watching our review. Spoiler for not Batman versus Superman. It is the
Should we just
Justice
watch
League.
Batman vs Superman right now? I feel like that would-
Yeah, probably.
I'd be okay with that. I really liked it. But either way, thank you guys. You can like, you can subscribe.
And you can do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, because Superman believes in justice.
And he also believes in truth. By the way, that comment was great where
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, I believe in truth, but I also believe in justice. And it would have been a little more shoehorning if he's like, and the American way. But
I love that part.
he doesn't
I think
get
I
to
sort
throw
of
it in.
like laughed out loud with joy, and once again, like no
See,
one else in the
as-
theater. I was like, "Are you people dead inside? This is amazing."
For me at first, because I was like watching it, and I think it was the way that he like
Shoehorned it in?
Shoehorned it in. I was like, that was kind of.
No, but it was like a joke. Like he smirked. It was hilarious.
Right.
It was good. It was
and
good.
and that is Superman. I mean, that is him to a T.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's back to have fun, we had fun. I can't wait for them to all come together. Hopefully they do
Yes.
again in one more time. And we get a lantern in there. And we got Deathstroke, which is fantastic. So thank you guys. And Aaliyah, where can they find you?
Nerd Build Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and Nerd Build Podcast on Facebook, and also we have a website, and it's nerdbuild.com. Check it out.
Dom Antonio.
What's
where
up,
can
guys?
they find you?
All right, you guys can find me at Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Don't forget that one. Not Snapchat yet. Not yet. Soon though. It's DAM Antonio. Just gotta put that out there, like Dan.
Damn Antonio.
Dom Antonio.
It's pronounced Dan, but it's spelled Dom.
There we go.
Thank you
The other
No,
guys.
that's other way.
Reverse that.
Don't confuse the people.
Yeah, it's pronounced Dan, but spelled. No, it's pronounced Dom, but spelled Dan.
That's
okay,
it.
there we go.
There you go. It's all good.
But thank you guys, and as always, now it's time to say goodbye. Bye.
An alien stole my husband.
Oh, that was my most hated part of the movie. It was so Men in Black.
I
When
know.
did the Daily Planet get into tabloid
It
journalism?
was that was like the Men in Black, and then the part where they showed like the magazine,
And it's like,
and then it was like, are they missing? Did they go back to their planet? And it showed David Bowie and Prince.
Yep.